Greetings, Virgo and Virgo rising. This is your Western forecast for April 2024. There are two significant planetary events, and one can be life-changing, pushing you in a whole new positive direction. There's going to be a new moon solar eclipse on April the 8th in your 8th house. The 8th house, on one end of the spectrum, is financial, banking, settlements, insurance, taxes. On another level, it can be putting a spotlight on profound inner transformation. Now, Mercury is the ruler of Virgo. Mercury is associated with Gemini and Virgo. So Mercury, the messenger god, the analytical thinking, business savvy Mercury, is the ruler of Virgo. So it's a very important planetary energies for Virgo. Mercury will be retrograde April the 1st till April the 25th in Aries, in that 8th house that I just started to set up. Then on April the 25th, the Mercury goes direct, remaining in Aries in your 8th house until May the 15th. The 8th house is where that solar eclipse is about with these profound transformations, inner and outer. It's also where it can be where we look to for major endings and death. Literal death, but of somebody else, not you, or symbolic death, divorces, quitting a major job. But there's a lot of positive energies here, but there could be this profound change. And with Mercury in retrograde, this could be those first 25 days, is now you're being hit with all these big new changes, and you have to rethink, where's your life going? What does all this mean for you? It could be really throwing you for a loop here, because you just thought, this is where my life is going, and now boom, now it's being pushed into a new direction. Now, the Jupiter-Uranus in Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign, very compatible with Virgo. Jupiter is abundance, opportunity, luck, growth. And every 13 to 14 years, it aligns with Uranus. Uranus is innovation, technology, liberation. Jupiter and Uranus, every 13 to 14 years, can indicate major scientific, technological, and medical breakthroughs. This is what we would see on the news. In your personal life, a Jupiter-Uranus connection could be sudden luck, sudden windfalls of monies. Now, before I break down how these three important events could be making a real difference in your life, but before I break all that down, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. And if you go into the description box underneath the video, you can find a direct link to sign up for my free daily message, or how to book an astrology reading, or check out my 2-question offer. All right, before we start with the solar eclipse in Aries, the sun went into Aries at the end of March through April the 19th. Wherever the sun is shining, it's spotlighting a different area of your chart that comes into focus. This is where your attention, your priority, every year when the sun is in Aries, the end of March through the first 3 weeks of April, it's putting a real spotlight on 8th house matters. The 8th house of your financial obligations, the 8th house of this personal self-discovery, going really deep, letting go of old patterns. Could be major endings personally, professionally. That's the 8th house. But usually every year, you'll see some kind of ending, change. Maybe you'll have an astrology reading, and that's not changing your life, but it's all part of that 8th house of new psychological insights and self-discovery. But this time, the new moon in Aries is a solar eclipse. It's a new moon on steroids. So that's on April the 8th. So by the 8th, and over those next several days, is when it's putting a spotlight on your intentions to manifest, and with the solar eclipse, could be for the next 6 months, even for a year, in your 8th house of profound change and transformation. And with that Mercury in retrograde, I do think something is going to, for many of you, be an unexpected dramatic change that you now have to rethink about what your whole game plan has been and what your expectations and what your goals were. So let's go back to the Jupiter-Uranus, because that's the big, great opportunity. So every 13 to 14 years, Jupiter and Uranus align. This year, it's in Taurus. It's never aligning in Taurus again, because the Uranus is only in Taurus every 84 years. Jupiter is there once every 12 years. This is why the Jupiter catches up to the Uranus every 13 to 14 years. Windfalls of luck and opportunities. Now, Taurus is in your 9th house. Taurus is an earth sign, compatible with Virgo, an earth sign. So there's this unexpected good luck and opportunity and growth in the domain of the 9th house. The 9th house can mean, the first thing in astrology, you always think about the 9th house, is higher education. Some of you could be getting a full scholarship, or maybe at least being able to be accepted for a big financial loan or gift for education. The 9th house also represents legal matters, and that could be a windfall of luck with winning a case, and you could then come into a financial settlement for some of you. The 8th house, back to the eclipse and all that Mercury in Aries in the 8th house, the 8th house can be dealing with financial settlements, financial gifts, backers, investors. Can be inheritance. The 8th house could literally be a death, and could bring in, a financial gift. Now, so the 9th house is also media, marketing, publishing. You could get a big publishing contract. This would be with marketing. But nowadays, because of the internet, and every business, like 99% of every business needs to have a website. So this could be this exciting, dynamic, liberating energies to launch an online business, or to launch or really update your website. That's all the marketing, and with the publishing. You could even be offered a contract doing all this financial negotiations of the 8th house. With the 9th house, could be a publishing contract, a media contract. A media contract could very well be for a movie, for a television show. That's the 9th house of media. And here's this windfall of opportunities from the 8th house that then could be the financial negotiations. Now, 2 weeks after the new moon, which is a solar eclipse, is the full moon. The full moon is on April the 23rd, so the 23rd, 24th, maybe the 25th, is a lot of information will be revealed, will be released. Can be a time when a lot of things fall into place, are revealed. The full moon is in Scorpio on the 23rd. And Scorpio is 3 signs past Virgo. So what is coming to light? What is being revealed? It's putting a spotlight on the 3rd house. The 3rd house is opposite the 9th house, which is where you're having the Jupiter-Uranus. The 3rd house deals more with writing, learning, classes, short trips, where the 9th house is more the teaching, the publishing, the marketing. It's like 2 sides of the same coin. But the 3rd house is more the writing the book, and the 9th house is publishing the book. The 3rd house could be meetings and interviews and job interviews that you would get then this big contract, hopefully for some of you. Now, this is part of the forecast where I like to look at how these energies are going to impact your body, your relationships, your business. Mars is in Pisces once every 2 years. And it's there all of April into May. Mars, when it's in Pisces, is opposite Virgo. So if you have, and the Virgo sun or the Virgo rising sign will often impact your physical body. And the Mars can trigger a lot of this anxiousness, a lot of activity. But the Mars is aligned with Saturn and Neptune, which I'll talk about when we get to relationships. But when it comes to the body, this can be being really tired and drained and run down, low energies. And I think it's because you're going through, not that you win a court case, you come into some money, you got some big marketing campaign. Something profoundly deep is going on within you. And if it's a death, that could be an obvious, a real shift that could be the grieving process. But it could also be something that you realize your whole life is going to be different, and it takes so much energy from your body. Now, with relationships, I look to Venus, planet of love and desire and cooperation and marriage. Venus is in Aries once a year in your 8th house, because it's in Aries with the sun in Aries, the new moon in Aries, Mercury in Aries, from April the 4th till April the 29th. Venus is all that love and desire. When the 8th house is being activated by relationship energies, the 8th house has a lot to do with wanting a deeper, richer experience, desiring so much more authenticity and intimacy. And so that's really good for solid existing relationships. If you're open to a new relationship, Venus in the 8th house could bring in a really intense sensual relationship. But Mercury will be retrograde the first 25 days. And it's not always the kiss of death, but because I have a perfect example. Many decades ago, I tell this story occasionally, where one of my best friends to this day, we met at a party as Mercury was going retrograde. And I was an astrologer, so part of me was thinking, well, I don't know, well, this isn't going to go anywhere. Well, several decades later, we're still friends, but Mercury in retrograde, my expectations were the exact opposite, because this person said at the party, well, I gotta go, I have to get up early in the morning for a call for a television show. So I thought, oh my God, somebody who is actually successful on a TV show. Turns out later that they were an extra making no money. But I was assuming they're making all this money. And maybe they were one of the leading roles of this television show. Well, it didn't hurt the relationship whatsoever. But when you start a relationship with Mercury in retrograde, you don't have all the right information. Your expectations, your assumptions may end up being different. Now, when it comes to business, all that 8th house, you could be starting not only negotiating a major financial contract, you could be starting a business partnership. And it could be all in the area of the 9th house, media, marketing, online business. You just don't want to be making major commitments and signing really important contracts during the Mercury in retrograde, April the 1st till April the 25th. That Mercury will still be in the 8th house of business negotiations till May the 15th, and that Jupiter-Uranus is going to be impacting you for a long time. That solar eclipse up to 6 months to a year. So you don't need to be, impatient. You gotta make a commitment. You gotta sign that contract. Just do a lot of investigations and research and due diligence. And some of you could be starting a new partnership business or getting a major contract offer that could be financially life-changing. I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.go, that's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.